Welcome to Mindfully Integrative Podcast with your host, Dr. Damaris G. Mindfully Integrative is a podcast discussing ways toward mindfully incorporating integrative health into our lives. This podcast will have informative resources, fun topics, interviews, and discussions relatable for today with a true mindful perspective in a mind-body, holistic life approach.
Hi, how's it going? So we're continuing on this conversation of stress and how it affects your body and specifically your hormones and GLP-1s and what it does to you, what it does to stress and the stress hormones. Initially, we talked about chronic stress in a previous lesson, and it's talking about how overall chronic stress over time elevates cortisol levels. It is one to disrupting the homeostasis, the equilibrium of your hormones, your body's balance. With interventions such as mindful-based meditation, this will help with that hypothalamus pituitary adrenal, so that it will help kind of that mind-body connection, specifically that access of lowering the cortisol or at least balancing it out. And when you look at the research, the impact of having a good tamed hormones, your body in turn will build a better mindfulness practice, which then in turn builds more balance, which then in turn will help with GLP secretion or the benefits balancing out when use of a GLP medication. Now, enhancement of this growth hormones in itself. So a human growth hormone plays a role in metabolism and in general for muscle growth overall. When you notice that evidence has shown and has come out that you can improve your human growth hormone, you can improve your overall balancing here by contributing by meditation and mindfulness. So we're talking about how improving your stressors in the hormones when you balance out certain hormones then can actually improve the uptake of GLP-1. So there is a connection between mindfulness and the human growth hormone and the benefits that will help with experiencing calm during the chaos. I have many of the slides and of mindfulness and stress management and meditations that you can check out on my podcast or on YouTube channel. Glad to show you and be a part of that to give you more information. The body itself, when you're talking about regulations with the body's hormones for female or male hormones, and you're trying to balance out the hormones so that you don't become higher in the cortisol or high estrogen, estrogen or testosterone, or even low side, this management in itself will actually manage your weight. It's a little bit more complex than just a baseline, but think of it like your body's way of regulating its system by kind of resetting and calming down. Now, mindfulness practices gives you that approach to help benefit many things. And here we're talking about women and men's hormones. Now, practical ways that you use mindfulness techniques to balance the hormones, then in turn, those hormone balance will help with an uptick in the GLP or at least balancing out that. So it's kind of they're inversely related, but related because GLP. So mindful breathing, engage in deep focused breathing, exercise and activate your parasympathetic, and reducing stress and cortisol levels. You can use body scans. So I have a couple meditations where you're like literally closing your eyes and you can either do a guided meditation or you yourself can close your eyes and do breathing and imagining from the head all the way down to your toes in a relaxing or progressive relaxation to help and aid in a lot of things. And in this turn, we're talking about hormones. Other ways you can do that and techniques are yoga. You can do breath work. I have many videos and podcasts on breathing techniques. And then just one very simple one, cultivate positive emotions. You can do love and kindness, and thoughts of compassion for others and for yourself, especially now. What happens is we struggle with being kind to ourselves, especially when our body is not maybe where we want it to be, or we don't feel where we need to be. And that's quite difficult. That's very challenging. So the overview of this with the research with GLP-1 receptor agonists and with mindfulness interventions, the goal is promoting a balanced hormonal system. Since there's so many hormones within the female and male health, insulin is also a hormone, the GLP-1 regulating the glucose and glucagon. So, and then talking about the hunger hormones. So all of it plays a role. And the goal is to build a better metabolic health and weight management for yourself. It will mimic that so you can regulate what you need. And together, like these stress reduction strategies will help build a framework to help you have a person with obesity to a person that is managing your obesity, a person that has endocrine issues or reducing inflammatory processes within the body, and whatever that is for you. It is very important to understand that these all play a role in management of your weight, management of your metabolic system, and getting you to where you need to be. I will have resources in the notes, and I also have many podcasts on breathing and meditations if you have any questions, so reach out at any time. And I'll talk with you soon on the next lesson. Thank you for listening to the Mindfully Integrative Show with Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, family nurse practitioner. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treat. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your healthcare routine. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by leaving a mindful review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite streaming platform. Interested in being a guest or more information? Email us at info@mindfullyintegrative.com. For resources mentioned in the show, visit our website at www.mindfullyintegrative.com. You can also connect mindfully with Dr. Damaris on her social media links found on the site. May your strength and peace guide you to find a mindful way every day. Namaste.